morning streams. I don't do morning live streams very often. But I was getting ready this morning and I thought, why not? Why not? I did not have a fantastic night last night at all. In fact, I was supposed to get up earlier than I did and give myself more time to wash my hair, but instead I've used like half a can of dry shampoo because I could not. Tonight is hair wash, full self-care evening. I'm going to do a face mask, the whole shebang. And then tomorrow I actually have my appointment to go and pick up my dress, which has been altered. So I'm really excited about that. And I wanted to actually kind of blow dry and do my hair nicely so that I just kind of realised the other day that the only time I've tried it on, I've had kind of my hair up, no makeup, obviously. Trying on everything, it just makes more sense with no makeup on. But not even with my hair down. So I really don't know what it's going to look like. And because it's been there for so many weeks, I'm kind of stressing out that I've forgotten what it looks like on me. And obviously now it's been altered. I've only ever had one thing altered ever. It did not go well. It was not altered. It basically didn't fit me anymore once it was altered, which was not an ideal situation. Anyway, thank you for those of you joining me quickly early on so I can get straight into it. I had a horrible night's sleep. I was so stressed out about something. Not this, not even Vegas related, but just so stressed out about something. I actually recorded and uploaded a podcast episode. If you are unaware, I do the most random and rambly podcast called Michaela Talks, and it's literally that. Imagine my vlogs. If you've ever seen those before, imagine my vlog. God, I swear I've got like breakouts in the weirdest places and it's totally stress related. So yeah, imagine my vlogs with less structure. It's like 25 minutes of me just talking. And last night when I couldn't sleep, I decided that I was going to just get up and was like, do you know what? First of all, I was going to do it live. And I was like, I don't want to wake anyone up. And the only place that I could do it was in the living room with Manny. And you think he's noisy during the day with his snoring? Nuh-uh. Nighttime is where he really picks up the pace. I can't be bothered to go and do my beauty bless. I'm just laziness. So I decided to record a podcast, and it's literally just me chatting at 3 o'clock in the morning while I'm making myself some lavender tea. Which, by the way, if you did listen to that, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. It's actually quite nice. Anyway, that's what I was doing at 3 o'clock in the morning. Wrote a blog post. Again, just the tired ramblings of me. So I've been really worried about something, which I'm not going to say what, but just for context. Something's been really bothering me. And last night kind of came to a thing of, I just can't go back to sleep until I feel like I've come to some kind of conclusion about this. Kind of went downstairs, kind of tried to work through it, if you will. And ultimately, after being awake and doing the podcast and doing the blog posts and doing whatever else I did, had my lavender tea, annoyed Manny coming downstairs in the first place at all. I can't do this with my watch and it's so annoying. I went upstairs and woke up and was like, I need to tell you something, it's really stressing me out. Not I need to tell you something like, have a confession, but like, I need to share this. Somebody else needs to know why I'm so stressed out. And we talked, and I feel at least 50% lighter this morning. I felt so weighed down. Sometimes it's not, really, it was such an easily fixed problem. And it will be an easily fixed problem. But sometimes you kind of sit with something, like I keep saying I'm not an anxious person, but I keep being anxious. I don't tend to be an anxious person. I'm trying to work around these new stress breakouts. I don't tend to be an anxious person, but Lee is an anxious person, and he worries and worries and worries. And so sometimes if I'm worried about something, I don't feel that I can share that with him because I don't want him to worry. And so I will make things out to be everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, even when it's not, or even when it's really heavy for me. Because I know if I'm worrying about it, then he's going to feel even worse. But sometimes you have to just share the thing, you know? I don't feel 100% better yet because for me, if I feel a certain way, it takes a while to shift. You know, like if you're in an argument with someone and then they apologise and you've been waiting for an apology for a long time, it doesn't just go away. I've still got that kind of latent, it's like an anxiety hangover. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, thank you, Amy. Says, I love your podcast. It has a handful of listeners, but I really enjoy it for what it is. It is a really nice way of being able to talk and be super candid, which I usually am on the internet anyway, but particularly on the podcast. It feels more, I can be more open. It's a bit more free there. That platform is, really enjoy it. I did also, it's practically dark. I'm practically doing my makeup in the dark. I did also upload a vlog today, which was a vlog of the past week. And it starts with me waking up with, it legit is dark. Like I can barely see. This is not going to be great. I'm going to film a shot with me today. I'm going to go out into the world with whatever this makeup's going to be. So look forward to that. It will be coming up on Sunday. Yikes. Also, I'm kind of toying with, I know I did 3 videos this past week, but I've been kind of experimenting with just 2 videos a week on this channel, like Wednesdays and Sundays. And I think I'm going to stick with that and do like occasional Friday videos as and when I want. But I think the 2 videos a week kind of makes sense to me. I think especially because I was posting so many more vlogs and the vlogs feel less high pressure and I'm just kind of like, it's kind of just a brain dump. I think the stuff that I post here, I want to be a little bit more curated to, I know that sounds really pretentious, but I want it to kind of fit in to a certain mold of this is the kind of content that you will find on this channel. And so just limiting that to 2 a week with the occasional bonus means that I'm not tempted to fill in with stuff that maybe doesn't really make sense, you know? Just watch the vlog and before you even say it, you're not a mess. You're just like the rest of us. So effectively in the vlog, I'm talking about like I was out drinking with my mum, which probably sounds weird, but I was. That wasn't the intention. We went out to see a show and we were drinking. And I was really hungover the next day and I slept in my makeup, which I was so angry about, way more angry about that than anything else. And got this spot, which is kind of just, that's the mark of it is going away now and it's just over a week ago. I was so mad. I was so mad at myself. And I've talked about this before. I don't know if on vlogs, but definitely on the podcast, the hangxiety feeling, which I have now identified as shame. When I drink too much and I wake up with a hangover, I feel intense shame for days, and I just cannot shake it. And I never understood what it was. And then this year I kind of put my finger on, it's shame. It's you feel like embarrassed and like you should know better and what the F are you doing with your life kind of thing. And that's kind of how the vlog this week, or rather the one that I started last week, started. And as I was recording it, it should have been like a couple of days and then I posted it. As I was recording it, I was just constantly second guessing, do I want to post this? Do I want to be this person on the internet? Because again, speaking of being curated, I can decide the person that I put out into the world as this is me. On the internet, I can choose who you know me as. I can choose who I am to you and who you think I am based on what I put out there, which is usually just whatever is happening because I'm not very good at editing myself. And so I kind of a few more clips, and every day I was like, I'm probably not going to post this vlog. I don't really want to post this vlog. And then I just thought, isn't this the whole thing? Like, isn't it? Why would I not post this vlog? I want more people like that to watch. I want more people that make me feel like, no, you're a normal person. Because some people on the internet are like pod people. And whether it be the, mummy blogger people, which is obviously not my bag anyway, or, fashion bloggers or whatever, especially people with like amazing houses. Often we are made to feel like, Jesus, like, what is wrong with our lives? Because I haven't got any of that. That's not how my life is at all. Everything seems like so much more elevated than a normal life. And so, yes, I do want to share those things, actually. That is literally all I have. That is who I am on the internet. A real person who often embarrasses herself. And what's weird is I'm not very easily embarrassed. But I think it's the alcohol thing. Really do. I said to my friend the other day, she wanted to go out into town and like get drinks and dinner and whatever else. And I said, I'm honest to God, just not into drinking in town anymore. I'm just not. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm cool to like, let's have some glasses of wine at home or some cocktails or whatever. I'm not saying I'm never going to get drunk, but I'm definitely saying it does not serve me to go out drinking anymore. I'm very happy to go out, have the dinner, go dancing. I can still stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning with the best of them. But I'm just not interested in like feeling out of control and inebriated in that kind of setting. Now, I feel very differently when I'm with Lee. Very differently. In fact, we had some drinks on, basically telling you everything I told you in the podcast, but we had some drinks on Friday night, more than we would usually have because we're usually quite reserved. Friday, just a couple of drinks, and then, housewives. But we had a few more than usual. We were watching Vegas videos and we were kind of getting carried away. And then the next day I woke up, I was like, hungover. Didn't have that sense of dread, did not have that sense of shame that I usually have. And I realised it's because Lee was with me. And he isn't usually the one who will get to that stage, do you know what I mean? Because he's just not a drinker. And so I thought, okay, this is just another layer of this onion. I can do this with this person and I feel safe and I feel, uninhibited and I don't feel shame. These are just things to know about yourself, Isn't getting older fun? We learn about ourselves, but also, are we changing? I don't know. Maybe I've always felt like this and just never realised. But it is fun times. Fun times. Just not into that at all. How did we even get onto that topic? God knows. But as we approach our vow-renewal, it's been more than 10 years. We've had our ups and downs, but I feel like more and more I am shown that like I've chosen the right person. We're in it forever. And he's going to be, I know it sounds stupid, but when you've been divorced, it's not a given that you get married and you stay married. It's just not. And much as I always appreciate Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell said, they didn't get married because every day they choose to be together. I kind of feel like that's still the same, especially once you've been divorced, because there's an option. That you are choosing to be together. It's not like a forever binding contract. It's just a marriage. It's a nice token. And more and more and more, especially in the past 6 months, I feel like I am being shown, you good. This is good. This is going to last. Lee laughs at me when I say these things because he's like, yeah, I think we're probably going to stay together. And I'm like, I think you are. I think you're right. I honestly don't think I've been, not willing, but like, I don't think I dared to believe that, this might all work out. Which is weird because I'm a very positive person, very into like, the law of attraction, and we get what we put out there. But on the other hand, I'm also very, manage your expectations, don't get your hopes up, don't get too excited, it'll all fall apart. And I think a big part of me has always kind of jokingly been like, well, when you leave us for your other family, or I love those jokes. I know that's not for everyone, but I think that's hilarious. One day when you leave me for a supermodel, or Ryan Reynolds, it could be either. I'd be happy with either. And I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that, what? We might stay together forever. Crazy. Although I do feel like that's a real jinx. That's like when important and Milo will come running in. That was weird though, right? Isn't that weird? Like that thing on Instagram, because it's a weird time for him to call me. That thing on Instagram where they say, like the next person to text you is your soulmate, which is a lot. Right, let me go back. I saw someone on the school run last week with full Bridget Jones getting ready in the dark, cheeks, and none of her friends were telling her. Oh no. Yeah, I've already done more with my eyes than I anticipated. Okay, morning. I thought the clock said 6:20 and went back to sleep. It was 7:20 and I'm definitely working from home. Isn't it a fantastic thing that is now an option in our lives? Nikki, what people are drawn to is how genuine you are. I don't know about others, but the texture and relatability of your content is what makes it enjoyable for me. No one's life is perfectly polished. Thank you. Please keep sharing things so relatable and the main thing that influences who I watch. That's how I feel as well. Oh, when Nikki says it's her fault that we got onto that topic about alcohol. You and Lee can never break up. My faith in relationships will be forever destroyed. I love your honesty and candidness. I think this is why I've never dipped out of your content. It's like we've grown up together. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. Oh, my sound went off for a second. That's because Lee was calling me. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, Nikki Kyler is more human than other YouTubers. By human, do you mean flawed? I think you do. She says drinking her enormous energy drink. I even know what time it is. Yeah, so I ignored Lee's phone call. Time will tell whether or not that was actually an important phone call. It's a weird thing for him to ring me at this point. He would usually be like saying, don't forget to do something. So I will call him before I actually leave the house. Because I'm going out. He might be saying, I've arranged the boilerman to come. That's the kind of stuff, Oh, lost you. I remember MissBudgetBeauty. Lol. That is a long time ago. Well, that baby is nearly 11. That is how long ago that is. How can that be? I honestly, sometimes I think, I wonder how long I'm going to do this for, like this whole YouTube thing. I wonder, will I do this forever? Well, I have those things of, I wonder if this is something I'll do for the rest of my life. And then I remember how long I've actually been doing this. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Really bananas. I never ever did I think I would be doing this like so many years on. Like, we have been married for just over 10 years and, well, nearly 11 years now. But we were planning the wedding when I was on YouTube, when I already had Milo. Well, I was planning the wedding like before, and then it was just like my entire life, it feels like it's been on YouTube. Lee and our life has been on YouTube practically the entire time. YouTube recommended me one of your super old vlogs the other day, and Milo was tiny. Like, who is that child? Milo's a grown man now. He is a grown man now. It's weird. He's a completely different person. He's like becoming a little monster. Oof, someone the other day said to me, from what I was talking about with the NARS, they were like, oh, I think you need to get the Physicians Formula blush. And I was like, I've got the Physicians Formula blush, but I feel like it's more glowy. It's more like a highlightery kind of thing. And it is. I thought, I'll try it. But it's got like a real golden sheen. Can you see? It's really, really pretty. But I know for a fact, when I get in that overhead lighting in Primark or in Meadowhall in general, this will not look cute. Like right now, gorgeous. Like that's, ooh, so nice, so nice. And then when it's like overhead, it like, oh, no. That lighting is not cute. In fact, I just might not film in that lighting. That would be a good idea. Never even did my mascara. I got distracted. We were chatting and I got distracted. I'm so glad I did this live because I really was feeling in a funk this morning. And it's really helped me kind of get out of it a little bit. I think one of the videos I want to film this week, they're not going to be super popular, as in like they're not going to get a lot of views, but I want to film some more Vegas content specifically before we go, some like planning stuff. I'm probably going to, once we've actually been and done what we want to do, film like an aftermath as well. This is what it was, because I've said this before, but I have really, really struggled to find content about Vegas wedding planning. And so because I've put so much time and effort into everything that I'm doing, I want to make that video that I'm looking for now. So someone else who's looking for that will be like, oh, yes. And they can find everything that they want to watch here. And then obviously my vlogs as well. But specifically, like, here are the plans for the actual event. Everything to do with like what I want to wear, what Lee's going to wear, how we're going to get there, what the costs are going to be, as far as I know, upfront now, versus obviously the aftermath video I'll be able to say actually what the costs were, because it's not a real wedding, it's just a vow renewal. But so I don't really know how it works. Like I've paid, I think, $100 for the chapel, and I've paid like for the photographer and all of that stuff. I don't know. I think I have to like tip the minister, but then it's not a real wedding. So do we have a minister the same as you do with the wedding? I don't know. I really don't know. And with my photographer, I'm like, that's a lot of money that I paid for this film. A lot of money for this photographer. Am I tipping the photographer on top of that? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, because she works for herself. Where are you going today? I'm on the train to Adwick. Oh, close by. I'm going to Meadowhall, of course. I've got some stuff to take back. I have a little voucher that I cashed out from Top Cashback for Primark. I'm going to get some home stuff. I'm really at the moment trying to avoid another dress, because part of me really wants to get like a little mini dress. I have got one, but I don't think it's quite right. Of course, a little mini dress for the tail end of the photos, because we're going to go on to somewhere else. But we've also got a car now. We also booked Katy Perry, so we're going to see John Legend and Katy Perry. Very excited. All of the Vegas wedding content, please. I think you're in the minority, Nikki, but that is completely fine, because what is going on with my hair today? I'm obviously in the minority, because if I wasn't, the content that I'm looking for would already exist. So I do want to kind of push ahead and still make those videos, because I would have loved to have those videos to watch. I know. You're so invested, and there are a handful of people who are invested in this whole journey because they've been talking about it for so long. I mean, in fairness, we were talking about this like when we got married the first time. So I really appreciate that. There are moments where I have kind of like a wobble of, you're boring people, nobody cares. And that's definitely true in a lot of cases. But at the same time, isn't that the whole thing? Like, this is my channel to do that with? I think it is. I saw something the other day, or listened to something. It was in a podcast. It was Dax Shepard, and he was interviewing... Who was he interviewing? From iCarly, what's her name? Jeanette McCurdy. And he said, I don't think he referenced the person, but he'd said there was a quote from a comedian, and it was something along the lines of, I've spent so long worrying about what other people like that I haven't taken the time to find out what I like. And I was like, oh, that's great. And I felt like that might apply on YouTube a little bit, because I kind of fell into, without really ever thinking, I didn't go like, oh, I'm going to make a YouTube video. What's this going to be about? I found beauty YouTube before anything else, and then was like, oh, I could do this. And I was interested in makeup and stuff, but I don't think I was as interested in makeup as I needed to be to like do this. This came from, I would say my passion for makeup came from my YouTube channel, not the other way around. Like, I always liked makeup. I probably preferred nails and like hair, would you believe? I know, I can never be bothered. But from there, because that's how I discovered YouTube, that's just like how I fell into it. I think my entire channel, off and on, has been far too much about what I think other people want and what they like, and not about what I like. So, you know, it's kind of like when people turn 50 and they're like, F this, I'm just going to do whatever I want. That's kind of how I feel more and more. It's your channel, you talk about what you want, exactly. I remember you considering Vegas for your wedding 10 years ago. Not sure how it's 10 years. I know. Honestly, I was saying to Lee the other day, because you've always got these things of, oh, well, you know, in 5 years, this is where we'll be at, or like in this amount of time, maybe we'll do this, and blah, blah, blah. And I said to him the other day, like, our lives could not be more different now than they were 10 years ago. And you don't often ever like really stop and think about it, do you? But it feels like 5 minutes ago, and yet it feels like an absolute lifetime ago. We'll be going to Meadowhall tomorrow as I finish early tomorrow. Enjoy, Tracy. Hello, I'm also really invested. Can't wait for your renewal. Does the chapel stream it? Oh my goodness. They probably do, but I don't know if I would. I'm definitely day of gonna do some live stuff on my vlog channel. We were talking about this because Lee loves the strip walks. He watches them all the time. So I said, well, day one will probably be really jet lagged. So let's kind of go out and we'll do kind of a strip walk, just what we're doing the morning of the first day, which will be the day that we do the renewal. Let's see how the signal is and stuff. And from there, I will kind of gather whether or not I'm going to do any more. I'll do like some little stories and things. I'll film what I can film, but it is just us and the photographer. So I don't really know what the deal will be. I'm going to have a little chat with her this week, I think, because ages and ages ago when I did a Zoom call with her to like, for us to just meet and be like, yeah, we like each other, this is going to work. I remember her saying nearer the time, you can send me like your Pinterest photos and just kind of give me your mood board for the whole thing, and we'll chat about like the props that you're going to bring, all that stuff. So that's kind of coming up, and we haven't had a conversation, so I'll probably email her later today, just be like, what's the deal, what do we need to do? And I'm going to ask a few questions, like stuff about streaming, not streaming, but like video. I don't think I'm going to stream purely because I want to get as much, if I'm able to video, then I want to get as much proper video as I can. And I don't like the idea of the chapel streaming it, because then you've got no control over what they're posting, do you know? I don't like that. But I will get what I can get, and I will be posting all throughout that day. I'm not going to do any vlogs while we're in Vegas. I am going to do vlogs, but I mean, I'm not going to post any vlogs while we're in Vegas, but I will post some lives, and I'll post like maybe some shorts, just some kind of stuff as we go along, and then obviously Instagram ops. Hi Miguel, lovely to catch you live. Hi from Australia. Wow, I enjoy your chatty vlogs and what you're up to and your plans. I find it relaxing listening to you. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Shani. Do you know, one of my best friends when I was at school moved to Australia, and we found each other years later, because we kind of kept in touch as pen pals. We found each other years later. She messaged me as her mum on Facebook. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, oh my God, it's Haley from school. And then we kind of lost touch again. And then years later, she found me on YouTube looking for like a review of something, and messaged me, was like, this is crazy. How mad. She, like, someone I was friends with at school emigrated when we were like 12, and she found me from the other side of the world looking for something else on YouTube, wasn't looking for me. I always think, these are the things, you know? It's weird. I was going to ask about the streaming too, also invested. Should we have a Facebook group for this? I don't like Facebook, but I wish that there was a way of doing something like that, you know? I wish there was a way of having a group on YouTube or on Instagram where it's like, this is our little community of people, and we're all like, we all really want this one thing, or we're all really excited about this, you know, like if we were all really excited about a particular product or something. Oh, let me check the time. Okay, I'm gonna have to go soon. I think I was 16 when I started watching you, 27 now, with a house, 5-year-old and different partner. So funny feeling like we've grown up together. It is, it truly is. And I think it probably doesn't feel like this from the other way around, because I know as a viewer, I don't feel like, you know, the people I watch actually know. And I'm not very good at commenting, to be fair. So usually I'm watching like in the background or like in the bath. I'm not often watching like actively on my phone or something, or on the computer. But the people that take the time to comment, I feel like I know these people. There are people that I talk on Instagram DMs to all the time, and it's the same. Like, I've met people who are my friends and I've met them online. There are people that I know in real life that I haven't seen in years, but our entire relationship now is online. It doesn't feel that far removed from that. Like, people who I recognize the names of, you have been created in my mind as a fully formed person. You've left enough comments, or I've seen your little profile picture or your name on Instagram enough times that you've kind of become a person to me who's nothing like the person that you are, I'm sure. But, and this works in good and bad ways, depending on, I will see someone's name or I'll see someone's profile picture and I will have, oh, it's this person. And I know that person because that's this person that I've created in my mind. This is the character I've made up for them, which is probably insane. But that's kind of how it works. My relationship with the people that I talk to online that I've never met in real life. I even have people who will leave me like voice notes and stuff on Instagram really frequently, and we'll kind of chat, and it feels like I know them. And that group of people, that core group of people who are always there and always active and engaged, kind of represent my entire audience to me. And so when you say it feels like we've grown up together, I feel the same way, because you are all represented by this core group who are very, very active and engaged and feel like this is my audience. Do you know what I mean? I've said it before, but YouTube, like as an actual side gig that pays me enough to continue to work part-time, is great. I love that that's something that I can earn money doing. But if I earn twice as much money and there was absolutely no engagement and no comment, just nothing, like if my views were enormous and my money was huge, but there were no comments, there was just nothing, like no DMs, nothing. It would just be so empty and pointless. I don't know if I could keep doing it. I think I could probably just like mindlessly make the content and get somebody else to post it for me. But it would become soulless. And I think that's kind of happened with certain people that I've watched over the years. People who've become absolutely enormous. Because then even the super engaged people, you must miss their comments. If you became huge and you're getting so many comments, then you're missing the people. And it kind of, I suppose, it still happens even if you've got loads of engagement. It's too much engagement and then it becomes nothing. It's all like numb. But it's nothing without that. It would be pointless without that. That's everything. I still remember. The first person that commented on my video was called HellLove79. And it will stick with me forever. I think people are more invested than you realise. I think, it's the whole thing. I think you might be right. Yeah, WhatsApp group chat is not a terrible idea. I'm one of the people you're describing, and I can confirm it does feel the same on this end. You're my internet friend. Yes. It is a sense of community. It does feel like a group of internet friends. And I do feel, I do keep thinking, I wonder if there would be a way of doing some kind of like massive meetup. I wonder if we could, I don't know how many people would want to do it, but I don't know how, but I wonder if we could do some kind of like big meetup where it was just kind of like a large, I've said this so many times, but like a big dinner party. That would be the dream. But then part of me thinks not enough people would want to go, and then part of me thinks maybe too many people would want to go. I don't know. This is why I've never done anything like this. The amount of times I say to my husband, my friend Kyla says X about NYC. Well, Tracy, you're the person who went to New York at the same time as us, and so I reference you quite frequently as well. Like if you say something that's relevant to something Lee needs to know, I'm like, oh well, Tracy went to New York at the same time as us. It's kind of like when your mom is like, so and so with so and so. You're supposed to recognize the people she's talking about from work, like that. We have similar age kids, similar length of time married, grown up watching you, and it feels like we're scarily similar. I'm the one who's kind of blown over the ADHD stuff because it's me. You say I'm the one, there's so many of them. So many people are like, oh my God, I've definitely got ADHD since I've shared stuff. Window shopping now for Christmas. I'm all about that, Caroline. Yeah, I think at some point a meetup is on the cards, but I just don't know how to facilitate that really. Because I don't know. I think probably I would need to do some kind of ticket thing, which I don't want to do because then it feels money making, but it would just be to pay for whatever it was that we had to do to actually do the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like it would be like to book the room or to do whatever. But I'm not very good at those things. Like I'll have ideas, but I really need someone else to be like, oh, we'll do it this way. Let's do this. I don't really know how it would work. When Emma and I went to that place, it's cast in London, in Doncaster. And we like had this room and stuff, and I knew of people who had hired the stage to do things, and I was like saying to Emma, this would be really, really cool. Like I would love to do something, like a Q&A or like a live chat or something. At the time that we were doing the podcast, I was like, oh, we could do like a live podcast. That would be amazing. But I don't think we've got enough people to do that scale of something. But we've got too many people to just have dinner with. That's really the issue, I think. Same thing with the ADHD, really clicked. Have you checked out opening a Discord, like an online chat space for people interested? No. Okay, right, I really do have to go because I've got to take Milo to school, but I'm going to look at Discord now because that's interesting. Is it like what people use for gamers, or what gamers use rather? I think it is. Right, gotta go. I really have got to go because I was supposed to go like 10 minutes ago because I've got some stuff to sort out before I take him to school. We'll probably be late. It's not going to be great. Right, thank you for joining me. Thank you for keeping me company. This was a much more varied chat than I expected. So we will kind of reconvene, and yeah, go and listen to my crazy podcast from 3 o'clock in the morning. Dread to think what it's like, because I was like, whoa. And also my very messy vlog that I nearly